Hello, welcome back. This is episode 4 of the Ganbatte series. Today we're going to talk about discipline plus consistency equals success. That kind of gets thrown around a lot, doesn't it? In personal development spaces, business spaces. You've got to have discipline, you've got to do it consistently, and you'll be successful. That it's this magic formula. I want to say it's not magic. It's mathematics and mindset. That's pretty much it. In my opinion, though, as always, take what you want, leave what you don't. I trust that you'll learn something and take something away from it. Give it your own spin, make it work for you, all those beautiful things. So with this session today, discipline plus consistency equals success. But the easiest metaphor that I could think of in the moment to reiterate this is the tortoise and the hare. Although I will pre-frame to say that there are many versions of the story of the tortoise and the hare, and there is no really one definitive author of that story. So that's a whole nother podcast though, another episode. Tortoise and the hare. How does it fit into what we're talking about today? It's about the mindset of the two of them, isn't it? Obviously the tortoise and the hare, they had this race and the tortoise beat the hare in the end, which, doesn't seem logical at all. So the hare had these random bursts of motivation and focus. Just the main words I want to point out here are random bursts, okay? The tortoise had a plan and continuously showed up. And so in the end, the tortoise won, okay? So let's talk about then, keeping that in mind, let's break down discipline and consistency. So discipline is actually about the focus and the consistency is about the action. So what I'm proposing is that focus plus action equals success. That's the equation that I would like to put forward to you today. And here's the reason. When you think about the word discipline, it's really got quite a negative connotation, hasn't it? With most people that I've discussed this with, and even just asked the question, what do you think about when you think of the word discipline? It's often associated with, the sayings like, well, kids need more discipline today. If they're misbehaving, the answer to it is discipline. And we equate discipline with things like punishment, control. We have to do something. We're getting told to do something. We're getting told off. That there's an element that we have to surrender to discipline. And we even use it if we're explaining someone as, they're quite disciplinarian. That's generally not a positive thing that we're pointing out. If we're honest, we're talking about it in a negative way. So if in our unconscious, in our programming, the meaning that we've given the word discipline is, negative like this, is it any wonder that we avoid it? It doesn't make perfect sense that if quite unconsciously you hear the word discipline and your mind and body equate that with things like punishment, control, loss of those things as well, and having to surrender, having to give up, having to give over control, stuff like that. If we equate it with that, is it any wonder that we don't embrace the idea of discipline? And so again, this is why I'm putting forward that what if we reframe the word and actually look at discipline being about the focus? What are you focusing on? What's the effort that I'm putting in to whatever I'm doing? What's it going to give me in the end? That's what I mean by focus. What's the reason for the effort? And so if you can keep your eye on that focus and then apply the consistency, which remember is the action, actually do something toward that focus, take the action, then that is what's going to give you success, because you're going to get a reward pretty much straight away for doing that. That small effort with the eye on the focus makes you take a small step towards it, the action. you're going to get a reward straight away, because we all like the idea that we have completed something, that we've done it. Hence our love of to-do lists. And I think I've talked about this in a previous episode, where how many of us have a to-do list, and if we actually do something that's not written on the list, we go and write it on the list, just so that we can tick it off and feel good about it, because we get the good feeling of we did it. We have completion, we have closure of that thing. So you can see how small steps towards a focus, that's actually what gives us the feeling of success. And so if we do that over and over and over and over again, if we repeat that process, then we're going to reach the end goal and bigger goals and higher success, more success, aren't we? And we're going to be more motivated to continue on that path, because we're getting rewarded with the smaller steps along the way. So small efforts, repeated consistently add up to big results. Now let's translate that back to the tortoise and the hare with this different way of thinking about discipline and consistency. We're going to move that into focus and action. And that's what's going to give us success for each step. So the hare, the focus that the hare had was like he stops to eat a carrot. He stops to have a rest. I think he has a sleep at some point, has a little nap under a tree. And he was also quite focused on the outside opinions and, wondering what the tortoise was up to, wonder how far behind he is, wonder what everyone else is thinking. So it was very externally motivated as well. So that was the focus of the hare. The focus of the tortoise was each step, just a consistent step, and the tortoise had that inner belief in the outcome. The tortoise believed, I will finish this race. That was it. That was the whole focus. I will finish this race. And I will focus on each step, steady as she goes. So it's actually the focus that determined the action, wasn't it? Action follows wherever the focus is. So for the hare, the focus was eating, resting, outside opinions, hence the random bursts of action. It only happened every now and then because it was following what the reward was in that moment. I want to rest. I want to eat. I wonder what other people are doing. And so that was the action that the hare took. Whereas the tortoise, the focus was on each step. And so the action that the tortoise was taking was consistently taking each step. It makes sense when you break it down like that, right? It sounds simple. However, I understand, it's a simple concept. It's not always easy to apply. However, that's what I'm putting out to you today is let's reframe this and redesign it. Instead of discipline plus consistency equals success, think about how that makes you feel when you hear those words, as opposed to focus plus action equals success. And that success is about the small steps taken successfully, consistently, is what will get you the big rewards in the end. I trust this has been helpful. I really look forward to you joining me next week when we do episode 5, which is about team effort and how having a support team, around you can help you move forward in life. Please remember to hit the like and subscribe button for me. Every person that I have who joins me on this journey helps me to keep doing what I love to do. I look forward to talking to you guys again. See ya.